You hold grudges against your own people. Guess what? You are a murderer. You hate your own people. Guess what? You have a murderous spirit upon you. Because all this stuff starts with the content of your thought. Give me Mark 7:21. All this starts with the contents of your thought. And when it starts from your thought, it manifests in your actions. It manifests in your actions. That's why it's very important that we come out here to show you the truth of who we are according to the Bible. How you doing, bro? How you doing? You doing all right? Hey, what's your name, Chief? Why do we go into slavery? Huh? Marvin? Your name's Chuck and I, bro. No, you do. And you see these times right here? Everything that we're bringing out, it has been prophesied in the Bible. Do you have a Bible? Okay, everything that they taught us about the Bible, what have they taught us about us in the Bible? Pretty much nothing, right? But this is the thing about it. Give me Jeremiah 14. No, my bad. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. Jeremiah 17:4. All right, because everything that happened to us was prophesied in the Bible, and it's a reason why these things happen to us. Because we are a peculiar people to God, okay? Just like you have a child, right? You give your child instructions of what he needs to obey. When he disobeys the instructions, you will punish your child, right? The same thing with God with his people, all right? Read it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land, whither thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which have burned forever.
And we'll discontinue from our heritage, all right? As they say that we are so-called African Americans, right? But as you can see right here on this sign, look on this sign right here, Mark. You see on this sign, what name is beside American blacks? As you see right here, it say Judah, right? Okay, so this is of the tribe of Judah. The so-called African Americans, Americans, and black is of the tribe of Judah. Okay, these are the 12 tribes of the children that descended from a man named Israel. All right, that's who we are. Okay, now give me Deuteronomy 1:1. Give me Deuteronomy 1:1. Now what I'm going to do, show you, Marvin, why we went into slavery, and show you the solution of how we get out these conditions. You understand? Because it starts with us. In order for our surroundings to change, we have to change. You understand? Read that, Deuteronomy 1:1.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. All Israel.
Okay, these are words that Moses is speaking to all Israel. These so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. They are our people. They are our brothers. Give me Deuteronomy 28. Read verse 15. Read verse 15. Read it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
Okay, now the key thing, all right? Give me Deuteronomy 29:1. Now the key thing, is you familiar when God delivered the children of Israel from Egypt? You're familiar with that, right? Yeah, okay. Now, God made a covenant with the children of Israel. It was already been ordained ever since when he made that promise to Abraham, that through his seed, that he will, his promise that he will go give the land and the blessings and possessions to his children, which is Israel, okay? Now read 29, read verse 1. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Make with the children of Israel, okay? Now we made a substantial agreement with the Most High God, the creator of all things, because he only chose us, the children of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 15, all right? So now, these are the terms and the conditions. First read verse 1. Now, if we obey God and keep his commandments and statutes, right? We will be rewarded for obeying our Father, right? Now, this is one of the awards. Read that, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Read that last part again.
Above all nations of the earth.
Man, if we keep his commandments and statutes, he said he will set us what? Where we supposed to be at? If we keep God's commandments and statutes, where we supposed to be at? Read that part again.
On high, above all nations of the earth.
What that sound like? What that sound like? Where do we supposed to be right now? We supposed to be above all nations, right? So that we supposed to be in rulership, right? Right? Now, read verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now I say all these curses gonna come upon us, and it's gonna overtake us. Now we are suffering the curses of the Most High. These are the judgments and the punishment that God has given us. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna go through some of these curses. Read verse 16. Read it.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now he said, "Cursed shall thou be in the city." Isn't our people populating the ghettos, the projects, the slums? Everywhere that we go, our people populate the most poverty constriction areas in the United States of America. That's our people. We're cursing the city. #1 crime rate, murder, all that thing. You know what I'm saying? Then read that last part again.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And cursed shall we be in the field, right? The field that's going into in slavery, we was in the tobacco field, the cotton field, the rice field, the bean field. These are the fields that we cursed in. Now today we're cursing the field of education, cursing the field of employment. You understand? Still cursing these fields. We still cursing these fields. You know what I'm saying? All right. Jump down to verse 30. Read verse 30.
Verse 30. Thou shalt be taught thy wife, and another man shall lie with her.
Now that happened to us. Have you ever seen that movie, that slavery movie, right? A man marry his wife, but the slave owners take his wife and they have a party, make her a bed witch. They have a party with her. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen Birth of a Nation? Okay. Have you ever seen what is that? 30 Years a Slave, 12 Years a Slave? Have you ever seen any of that? Okay, Roots. Have you seen Roots? Okay. Now, they'll show you in these movies what they did to our women. You understand? Another man will lay down with them. Keep reading.
And another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Now, what nation of people had built and constructed the United States of America? Who built this country? We did. We did. We built this country. But do we reap the benefits of it? We are the greatest inventors of this planet Earth. Everything that keep this country running and constructed is invented by our people. You know what I'm saying? But we reap no benefit of it. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. Keep reading.
And thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof.
We will get no profits of it. Now read verse 32. Now, this is what we're going to go into. Alright? Now, we curse in the city. We in the ghetto slums and the projects. Alright? We curse in the fields. We work in the cotton fields, the tobacco fields. Okay? Now, we're going to hit 32. Read that.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. And their eyes shall look and fill it with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in their hand.
Alright, jump to verse 41. It said, our sons and daughters will give it to another people. As you can see on this sign right here, this a young lady got her baby in her hand. They are on auction blocks. You see that? They on auction blocks. Now, Now get ready to sell the child to another slave plantation. All right? Read verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
You see that, bro? Did that happen to our people? All this was prophesied in the Bible. It was never showed to us in these sun-worshiping churches. Never showed to us in these sun-worshiping churches. Because this system is set up to keep us destroyed from our heritage. As it says in Jeremiah 17:4. Right? Read verse 37. Now, who sold on these slave auctions, right? Sold to these different slave plantations, right? Read verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Say you become a byword. Okay? A byword is being called outside of your God-given name. Alright? Like they call us African Americans. Right? But in actuality, we are the descendants of the 12 tribes of children of Israel. So-called African Americans is of the tribe of Judah. Right? Right? Also, when you were sold to these slave plantations, you are being name branded. Our people still carry that name of the slave owners today. What's your last name, Marv? Huh? Turner, right? So, do you have the idea of where you get that last name from? From the forefathers that were sold to the Turner plantation. What's your last name? Johnson. From the forefathers that were sold to the Johnson plantation. These are not our true biological names. Give me Isaiah 65:15. Isaiah 65:15. These are not our true names. We are named as their property. Right. You are the property of the Johnsons. Right. Property of the Turners. Right. Still to this day, these are not our true names. Read it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 15. And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
See that? We left our true name for a curse. Keep reading.
Unto my chosen, for the Lord God shall slay thee and call his servants by another name.
You're called by another name, a byword. Instead of you being of the children of Israel, you are called by another name. Because our surname is the children of Israel. How you doing, sister? You come on over here. Check this sign out, sister. Come on over here. What's your name, sister? What's your name? Shai? Okay, my name is Shakanai. Now, what I'm going over is the prophecies in the Bible. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. It's the prophecies in the Bible that what will happen to the children of Israel when they break the covenant that God gave unto us, which is his commandments and statutes. God gave our forefathers the commandments and statutes, okay? Right. Now read verse 48.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Now tell me, Shai, that who this happened to, okay? This is in the Bible. Have you read the Bible before? You read the Bible before, right? Now let me ask you this question. Have these people ever taught us this in this Bible? Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Now we're serving our enemies. God said they are our enemies in the want of all things. All right? We want to get a driver's license. Where we got to go? We got to go to them. Right? We want to buy some food. Where we got to go? We got to go to them.
If I want to sell some dope, where I got to go?
They the ones that bring the dope in our neighborhood. They the ones that bring the dope in our neighborhood. And our people is the ones that is profiting off destroying our own people by selling this dope to our own people. You know what I'm saying? And keep reading.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Our enemy will what?
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
A yoke of iron upon our neck. That's in the Bible. Who that happened to, sister? That happened to us, didn't it? Keep reading.
Until he hath destroyed thee.
When the yokes of iron came off our necks, when they teach us in school, when the yokes of ours came off our necks.
My daughter doing fentanyl.
You know what I'm saying?
The dying out fentanyl.
Hold on, Chief. Hold on. Calm down, Chief. Calm down. Control your spirit. All right. Now, the iron and yokes came off our necks when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay? They said that we was free. We wasn't free. We were destroyed from our true heritage. You understand? From the true knowledge of who He is, that we the children of Israel, that we are the ones that God has chosen.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage, captivity, slavery. Now go back. Deuteronomy 28, 6-8. Go back. Now we got the idea of what Egypt means. Egypt means bondage or slavery. All right, read that.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
I call those slave ships, right? Keep reading.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Sold to who?
Your enemies.
Sold to our enemies. All right? Because not only the so-called white man had us in slavery, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Arabs, the so-called Africans, which is the Hamites, the Kemetic people, all these nations, the East Indians, all these nations had a part in having us in slavery. Because they know our history. They know who we the children of Israel. They are our enemies according to the Bible. Read.
For bondmen,
For slave men,
and bondwomen,
and slave women. Keep reading.
and no man shall buy you.
And no man will be able to redeem us from this captivity. You understand, bro? Give me verse 29 real quick. You got one of the flyers, don't you? All right, when you get a chance, check the information out, bro. It's very, very important to know who He is and to come back and what we must do. You understand? So if anybody asks you what race you descend from and what is your nationality, what would you say now? Yes, you descended from the children of Israel. You are an Israelite. Yes, sir. You are an Israelite. Now give me Deuteronomy 10:12. Now it's things that now that we know this, it's things that we must do in order for us to get back to the true grace of our Father. To the true grace of our Father. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Read it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Now God required for us. God required for us to fulfill the purpose that what He made us for. You understand? To be the greatest people on this planet Earth. To be the wisest people on this planet Earth. You understand? Keep reading.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all His ways, and to love Him, and to serve the Lord thy God without thy heart, and without thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord.
What?
To keep the commandments of the Lord, and His statutes which I commanded thee this day for thy good.
For your good. For your good.
To scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.